Hello, hey everybody, Rook here, and we're coming back in for patch 6.4, The Dark Throne. I hope that you have been weathering the patch lull in the best of ways, enjoying whatever games you've been playing, or just more Final Fantasy XIV as well, but I'm so excited to get into this. This is sort of the culmination of our quest that we've had following Endwalker, and I've really loved it. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. And we're gonna play through this final portion together. Reminder that you can also find me live over on Twitch as well. So if you haven't yet, be sure to check out the channel, which is also Rookery over there too. We have a bunch of content, not just this playthrough going up as well, including a Realm Reborn playthrough that we've been doing with a couple of friends that is off the rails. So check that out if you have some time as well. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe. You know the drill. But let's get into it. Let's play some 6.4 together, and let's start The Dark Throne.
Arden, 'tis good to see you. Have you any news from old Sharlayan?
Every single time I'm like, oh god, now voice activate. How did this small child sound?
We've yet to hear from Ishtola regarding her search for a means to return to the void. I must confess that her silence has left me feeling restless. Almost like a patch content lull if we had video games in this world. Nor am I alone in this. The entire Final Fantasy XIV community has been Estinien has such an excess of energy that he has been helping to train our soldiers with nary a grumble. As for Zero,
more beautiful, more fierce, more amazing, more handsome than ever. Impeccable, great taste in hats. Very kissable. And I was like, don't say it, I couldn't help it.
is something the matter?
No, Arden just was rambling about how much they're in love with you, so... And then telling me about her recent developments, or the lack thereof.
Are you heading somewhere?
Aye, to replenish my aether. My eyes just can't get enough of looking at Zero. I just love the whole design, every single detail.
Would you like to come?
Yes. Take a girl out for dinner, would ya? I'd love to go on a curry date with you. Oh, Varshan, I guess you can come too, my man. It's fine. It's cool. I didn't want... Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah, sure. Three's company.
A rare but most welcome invitation. Timely too, I might add. I myself was thinking of venturing out into the city. It would be my pleasure to join you. You will accompany us, of course.
Come then. I've an errand to run at the bazaar first. It's hard for me to channel the incredibly cool Zero energy. That kind of no energy, but energy. Because in case any of you, in any of the playthroughs that you've watched, maybe it's your first time tuning in, haven't caught on, my energy level is always like... So the like super cool understated level, I'm like, is this enough? Does it sound cool? Am I cool now? The question I asked myself continually in high school, and the answer was always no.
You're with Mistress Zero. How rare to see her with others. If you would gauge the city's prosperity, there is no surer way to visit than to visit the bazaar and observe the people. This I learned from Ahawan and his predecessors.
I'm gonna remember how to speak English and to read words. All week I've just been kind of hanging out, took a mini vacation. I watched Fusion play all three of the initial Resident Evil games. I have not had much cause to read this week. So welcome back to reading, Rook. It's a thing we do, and not just when it comes to tweets.
I'm picking up some more spice. Marie told me to do so before my next visit.
Mistress Zero has quite a tolerance, you see. The sisters know we Hanesh are fond of spicy food, but I doubt any of us could keep up with her. With just the spices they normally have on hand, the Mehan can't quite satisfy her, which is why I'm happy to provide what they need to achieve more rigorous flavors. Let me spend some time with her, I can satisfy her. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. A little spice to add on to that spice. Now then, variety being the spice of life. Perhaps you'd like to choose something extra to blend with Mistress Zero's usual. It'll help to keep things interesting. What do you say?
Fine by me. You can appreciate the nuances of this world's sustenance far better than I can, I expect.
Yeah, let me figure out what's gonna really please your palate. Let me get my hands up in this spice. And I'm just gonna get up in there. I'm just gonna do it. There's one thing I know pretty well. It's a good sprinkling of spice, and what will really make that balance the spiciest possible. So, colorful array of spices pour out from the hempen sacks. Lustrous crimson powder. I mean, that kind of seems like the no-brainer go-to, right? Red, hot. Aromatic black corns, the little red husks, the coarse yellow flakes. I hate coarse yellow flakes. They get everywhere. Little red husks could be a reference to something like dried chilies, which are delicious and incredible and amazing. Aromatic black corn's also interesting though, because we actually have a really good Szechuan place by us, and I think it made me totally change how I view spice, like heat spice, because it's hot. It makes my mouth go numb, but it's also some of the most flavorful heat, as opposed to like a lot of Western heat where you get like ghost pepper and stuff like that, and there's almost no flavor to it, but your body instantly is like, why would you try to kill me with this? So I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards the black corns and the little red husks because they remind me a little bit of some of the flavor profiles, and maybe little ingredients that we've had specifically in that. Little red husks. Although black corns, okay. No, this doesn't matter for anybody else except for me because I'm a roleplay monster. Black corns was my very first instinct. Let's go for that. These corns tickle your nose with their pungent yet enticing aroma. One can imagine them lending dishes an appetizing accent. Yeah, give me that one. Give me it. That's a fine choice. But don't take my word for it. Here, have a taste. Zero may wish to observe your reaction. It would be considerate to sample the spice in her presence. Oh, I'll sample spice in Zero's presence. Here, you want to watch me eat this? This patch coming for me with the foreplay. All right. Do I have it in my inventory? Do I have peppercorns that I can eat in front of her? What's the answer here? Well, I'm trying to remember how to eat food, Zero. This is hard for a lot of us. I've got matcha. I've got... Is it like in a little bag? Maybe it's like in a little baggie. Just watch everybody's like, Rick, it's right there in front of you. It's immediately in front of your eyeballs. You big Goomba. Bag of spice. Use. You tentatively place some of the spice on your tongue. An intense and aromatic heat fills your nostrils. Your reaction speaks volumes. That will suffice then. Always a pleasure, Mr. Zero. And do give Merid my regards. Alright, let's go take our spice to make it into a delicious dish. Oh god, I am gonna have to get... No. I don't have to order curry tonight. Because I have curry. I can cook it. I have it. I've got the power. It's like I perfectly planned this unintentionally.
I am pleased to see that Zero has become a regular here, and so much so as to bring her own spice.
She's connecting with people. She's remembering what it means. She's enjoying spicy dishes. I imagine it has to do with like the void scent palette Maybe also kind of like the simulacrum, being something where she's like just starting to almost remember what taste is to her beyond just ethereal consumption.
My usual, please. But with this spice.
I just love her voice actor. She's so
Of course, Zero. It would be my pleasure.
good.
Well now, this is enough to make a whole kettle of your special curry.
I don't need that much.
You eat as much as you want.
Rest assured, it's easy enough to make a serving just for you. Or we could make the kettle and share it.
Everybody hitting on Zero. I gotta get in
There
here.
would be enough not only for your companions but other diners as well. I dare say everyone will be delighted.
Share
well.
a meal. Share a meal.
A full kettle, then.
Excellent. We'll prepare it at once. And for your excellency and our esteemed adventurer, are you happy to try a bowl of Zero's curry? We can make yours milder if you prefer.
Nah, go for it. If my face melts off, so be it. I've faced gods. What is a bowl of curry? You know? I said before my own downfall.
Grateful though I am for the offer, I cannot fully appreciate the flavor with this vessel. Another time, perhaps.
I really like the idea of just like Estinien, because you imagine it would have to be Estinien, but maybe like with his spear or something. Just like tied a spoon on the end, just like ladling up like servings of curry to Vitra and Dragon for.
Do not hold back on my account, my friend. Eat and enjoy.
Then I'll have His Excellency's portion. I think that's what it was.
Understood.
Serving.
Please, make yourselves comfortable.
So many good food scenes in Endwalker and into the
It
post-expansion.
gladdens me to see you taking to
Or
life
post-patch.
in Radzatan, Zero. In the area of our cuisine, not least of all. Spicy dishes have long been favored in our sultry clime for their ability to whet the appetite and cool the body. Of course, spices also have the effect of preserving foods, which makes them highly coveted in foreign lands.
Like salt and things.
All of this has given rise to a thriving spice industry, and the wealth it brings has allowed our nation to prosper while maintaining its neutrality.
So you trade your spices? Seems rather more complicated than trading in ether.
Well, trading in ether is more like I just take it. I guess bartering it. You can barter it. They do barter it.
In the beginning, this land was no more than refuge for me. But now it is my home, and the people of Radzatan my beloved children.
He's so sweet.
Together, we build this vibrant nation. And naught would please me more than to show it to my sister one day.
Show it to like all the dragons. Everybody could take a lesson from the how do we realize a new peace between dragon and man kind of thing.
Vibrant. Rubicante said the same when he described this world. A reminder of all that has been stolen from us. What many who remember doubtless yearn to take back.
Our home is a lost cause. Our only choice to begin anew.
We'll
in
fix
this
it.
world, where we may reclaim our mortality.
Nonetheless, it's wrong to damn another to save yourself. As I told Rubicante, as I found myself moved to speak.
Little parts of Zero are coming back again. I also appreciate the little bit of a touch back on that fight in its final moments if it's going to kind of lead us into the finale here, because it has been months since many of us played the patch, so it's nice to have, like, not too heavy-handed of a recap, but a little bit of a throughput in that kind of, like, the narrative beats and the things they want us to hold on to from the last patch.
I still do not understand what made me feel this way, nor what compels you mortals to help one another. But I hope to someday.
We too hope that you will find the answers you seek. What is going on?
What's happening?
Oh, the spicy curry.
Compliments of
Oh my
Mistress
God,
Zero,
you can just
the
see it,
Satrap's
like-
honored guest. We are serving a special curry for anyone who wishes to partake. But be warned, it is not for the faint of heart.
Curry heat withstanding minigame.
Oh, by all means, I'd welcome the challenge.
That man's gonna get laid out. That man's gonna die. Somebody have some healing potions or a res on hand.
The smell alone.
That little man's not gonna be able to handle this. I can already tell. Look at his little face. Oh, no, no, no. The animation is really good. I love it.
To better maintain the facade, the alchemists ensured that my vessel was capable of consuming food.
Oh, hey! So here they do actually go into it a little bit.
However, I fear Zero's curry would test the limits of their design.
Just absolutely destroy his, simulacra.
Apologies for the delay. Please relax and enjoy your meal.
Her voice is also really good.
Relax.
I don't remember if we heard
I don't
her
have time
voice.
for that. I've been waiting for this.
Zero really loves curry. I mean, I get it. Me too.
Come. Let's replenish our ether.
Let's do it, Zero. I'm ready. This is pretty much how I feel about eating too. I'm like, I look forward to my meals. Oh no. The whole restaurant has been annihilated. The final days have come again. But I genuinely look forward to eating every day. I like different meals. I like different flavors. I like those like go-to comfort foods, you know? They're just, food's so good. It's so good. Even when it destroys an entire restaurant worth of people. And what I was gonna say is that I can't remember if in the main story, maybe one of you will, if we actually heard the restaurant owner have voiced dialogue. We must have. Maybe? I don't remember exactly, but I really do like the voice actor that they cast. I think they have like kind of an interesting roughness to their voice in places. My whole life flashed before my eyes and it was exhilarating. Yeah, that's the one. My whole life flashed before my eyes and it was exhilarating.
I trust you have eaten your fill.
Look at them, they're so cute. Just hold on, I'm just gonna take a picture.
I shall have Marit prepare a meal for us to take to Estinien. I suspect he too is overdue a replenishment. By this hour, he will have retired to his chambers at Magaduta. Come, let us pay him a visit.
Let's go bust down his door for a pajama party. Slumber party! Also, I feel like we all now have to collectively just refer to eating as replenishment. Like, oh, my replenishing nourishment just got here. Everyone, can you hold on? I'll be back in 5. I'm going AFK for a second. The spicy curry has left you slightly flushed and set your heart racing. No, that was just me looking at Zero. Whatever challenges await, you are ready to face them head on and with feeling. I love it. So cute. Pretty much all of the patch so far has just been teaching Zero that culinary endeavors are good. Training Zero in the ways of a culinarian. And hey, maybe that'll be the big surprise of the next expansion, that actually what you progress the story with is not your combat jobs, but is indeed the crafters and gatherers. Which I think some people would be very, 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 very excited about. I would maybe be a little bit less so, but I have, since we last spoke, since we last did a playthrough, actually gotten a bunch of my crafter gathering stuff leveled. I have done the tribes. I'm still working through the Loporrit because I'm slow, and I'm finishing up Omicron, but I've done all the custom delivery agents, and I really loved their stories. I have to say, I wish that I had started doing those particular quests and those turn-ins earlier. I just didn't understand, I think, why you would do them, that there was extra story behind them. I thought they were mostly just content for those who were really into crafting gathering. And there's actually so many little lore things, story things, character arcs that are behind the ones that I've done so far. And I think, like, if you haven't done them, do them. And if you have done them and you've been in the know this whole time, I'm sorry I didn't listen sooner, because they actually are really good.
I did not expect so many to take up the challenge, but I am glad to see everyone enjoying themselves. I'm satisfied.
All right, good. That's what we want to hear.
Welcome back. Master Estinien. Yes, he has returned to his chambers. I shall be happy to escort you.
Let's go to Estinien's bedroom. I wonder what his personal quarters are like. Are we going to see how he's kind of set himself up in the
Estinien,
city?
Are you there? We've brought something for you.
I enter.
He's working out. Oh, he's working out. Is he doing the push-ups from the art? There was that... Oh my gosh, he's glistening! This is everybody's dream come true! Final Fantasy 14, you're gonna murder me! You gotta stop!
From the Mehane. I thought you might enjoy it.
You gotta stop! You gotta stop! I was wholesome. I was wholesome before this. Shh! The only thing that corrupted me was Final Fantasy 14. I definitely wasn't a spicy boy before playing this game. No, definitely not. But you gotta stop, because I am not as good as at hiding it, Final Fantasy 14, when you do this nonsense to me. When you fill your cast full of all of these painfully attractive people. When you do a funny little piece of art that the internet thirsts over for like 1,000,000 years and then put it in the game. It's harder for me to hide the fact that I've always been a spicy boy. I'm sorry. I mean, it's harder. I got corrupted. You gotta stop. Wow, they've really come a long way with their sweat technology in this game, though, huh? That's like, I'm sweating. That was good. That was good. I'm gonna have to rewatch that for science, I think. I was so shocked. You know what? We're gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep going with the cutscene, and it's fine. Everybody good? You good? All right. I did enjoy it. Thank you. Oh, I guess sure. Also, the food was good.
Masala, eh? I prefer my squid dried.
Look at this
But
hot little scrunkle
I'm
man.
sure it won't disappoint.
My God.
My thanks.
This funny tiny mouth. His long flowing white hair. His glistening sweaty body. Unbelievable. So rude.
Idle as I am in our sorceress's absence, I see. I can't offer much in the way of entertainment, but make yourselves comfortable.
No, please. No, Estinien. Don't feel like you have to put yourself out on our account. Please, just continue exactly what you're doing. Sure, it'll be so boring and nobody will be entertained. Definitely not me. But, no, please. Please, just go. Sarah's like, I think I'm a lesbian. Or pansexual. Maybe bisexual.
Shall we disrobe as well?
This has been really fun, everybody. It's been really great. Great patch. Really loved the note they ended it on. It really is so good. Thank you for playing with me today, everyone. I need to go do some I'll be back. I'll come back. Woo! No, please keep your pants on, Zero. Please, I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
No. We simply caught our friend unprepared. He will make himself presentable at once. I am sure.
Yeah, he's gonna put... Towel yourself off, Estinien. My God, you lewd man. Wow. I'm gonna be thinking about that for a long time. Really digging into the lore details of that scene. Mm-hmm. There you go. You put your shirt back on. Well done. I mean, I'm a little bit bummed. I'm not gonna lie, but fine. Fine.
At last. We've been looking for you.
Oh, are you all here to join the sweat party? Because I can't
My
handle
friends,
it.
Tell me, were you able to devise a way to return to the 13th?
What did
I
they
believe
figure
so.
out?
It required a visit to the moon, where I took the opportunity to enlist Uriange's assistance.
Bring this smartener boy in.
Ishtola hath told me all. I should be glad to help you free Ashdaya and put an end to Golbez's dark plot.
Thanks, buddy. Do you all think that Uriange dances at the Lopper at Rave
and
booth?
Ashdaya are on the moon of the 13th.
I think he does. I think he does. I want to be a part of that.
Unlike here in the source, however, we have no means of making the journey from the surface of the star itself. The technology simply does not exist. Therefore, I propose that we employ a gate to deliver us directly to our destination.
Just like a void gate?
Is such a feat possible?
In theory. Having once been a single hole, the source and its reflections share striking similarities in geography. And according to a certain someone who unceremoniously whisked us away to the first, the same locations across the worlds are intrinsically bound. All of which is to say, were we to pass through a gate on the source's moon, it should lead us to the moon of the 13th.
Interesting. I was wondering if they were going to take this opportunity to tie in the Void Quest stuff from Shadowbringers, because if you've done all those quests, I have the playthrough actually up of the final stuff here on YouTube. If you haven't seen that, like, post quest, the like meta quests that happens after all of the role quests in Shadowbringers, where you get this tidbit about them doing research into the void. So now I'm just kind of wondering if that was just sort of thematic setup for the things we would eventually be exploring post Endwalker, or if they're ever going to tie that back in. I mean, maybe not until we get an expansion featuring the void. But I am surprised that they didn't kind of take that opportunity to bring some of that knowledge with the Nuclei and stuff over here, given that he is kind of served as an intermediary between either. But I don't know. We'll see.
Of course, there is the risk of Voidsent gaining entry to our world. Thus did I decide to seek Uriange's counsel.
Both the Watcher and the Loporrits are aware of our proposed endeavor. While they are yet deliberating precautionary measures, they have pledged their full cooperation.
So the Watcher... interesting.
You've been busy. I presume you've also found a way to open this gate.
Be it in Radzat-Han or Sharlayan, scholars have long cast their gaze unto the endless dark of the void. And so, with harnish insights to augment our knowledge, we have indeed conceived of a promising plan to pierce the veil. A plan I am confident will succeed, precisely because the moon is our stage.
I like the little animation details, like the poses they gave her in that little sequence. I don't know, they felt very cinematic, maybe.
The preparations will be extensive. and we will require vast quantities of ether.
Like primal summoning? Levels of amounts of ether?
After all, our gate must be large enough to accommodate another great worm.
They're kind of big, and this one doesn't have a simulacrum, and also can't transform into a small friend. I really hope we save Estinien.
My proposal entails delivering copious amounts of ether to the Tower of Babel in Garlemald.
Oh.
As you will recall, Fandaniel used the structure to destroy the brand's imprisoning Zodiac, and we, in like manner, will use it to channel ether to the moon, and thereby open our gate.
Okay.
I see.
So there's a reason that Babel, the tower, has
Then
stayed
we
there.
shall need someone on the moon for the necessary rituals.
Just so, Your Excellency. I intend to head back anon for that very purpose, as well as to help devise our strategy to deal with invading Voidsent. Along with our lunar allies, we will once again require the assistance of your alchemists, Nidana not least of all.
Yay! Our girl Nidhana staying in the story.
May I trouble you to serve as their escort?
Yeah, if we can all ever look at him again. Seeing what we've seen.
Fine by me. The room is beginning to feel constraining.
It's real hot in here. Yep, it's real muggy. Got real hot all of a sudden. I
For
don't
my
know what
part,
happened.
I shall oversee the requisite tasks on the star. Might I prevail upon you for your assistance?
If all are in agreement, then let us set to work. We'll open our gate, and we will stop Golbez.
Okay. Well, let's hope nothing goes wrong with this plan. It's not like channeling an obscene amount of ether using a dark, horrific nightmare tower to a moon where once an ancient entity was stored. It's not like that has any possibility of things going wrong. There's that title drop, though, the Dark Throne. It's so funny. I had not, at the end of our last playthrough, I don't know why, but sometimes when I do my first pass through a story, you all know my emotions are high. They tend to carry me. So, I mean, if you've all been a part of this here on Twitch for any amount of time, there are a lot of details that I always know I miss in my first playthroughs, but oftentimes it's worth it because that emotional journey is so strong and I'm just so happy, and then I go back through and nitpick later. But one thing that I was actually kind of flabbergasted that I just like did not put together at the end of our recording and our playthrough of the last patch 6.3 was that I did not realize until like several weeks later that where Golbez was the moon and likely where a shard of Zodiac had been kept. And the moment somebody said it, I went, oh my gods, of course. Like, of course. Maybe he absorbed the shard that was there. What happened to the shard that was there? Because we know that Zodiac was split and that the rejoinings of the worlds are what made him more complete. And we actually see in the fight with the primal version that we have with our, our trials, we see those parts of the literal parts of him that were rejoined. And I mean, I think for a while, the idea that like he could have been split before we got that, right? It could have literally meant that he was like dismembered, but it could have also meant that like he was just copied over between worlds, but each one was very weak kind of thing, if that makes sense. It could have just been that his ether itself was kind of dispersed, so the actual full power wasn't there. And it wasn't really until we actually got Endwalker that we saw that they had decided to go the route of that visualization of like actual parts of his body split, which actually has an interesting parallel now that I think about it to what Xenos even did to his dad that made all the lunar towers, where he literally like dismembered him and then put all the pieces in the different towers. Interesting and horrible. Interesting and horrible. But there were pieces of Zodiac that like literally existed. So it makes sense that in a world like the Voidsent, they may have consumed that piece. Maybe that's why the Ascians didn't push for full rejoining there. I mean, there were reasons. They're not coming to my mind right now, but it is interesting that we don't know what happened to that. And that's kind of been a big enigma. So I'm curious what's going to happen here as we try to open a portal straight over there and what that means given the like weighty set piece that is the moon here in 14 and coming out of Endwalker. So I don't know. Interesting that they are giving more weight to that tower though, because I was wondering why the Tower of Babel, like why weren't they dismantling it? You know? But to still have it be used as something other than just like transportation to get up to the moon to hang out with the Loporrits and things. I'm glad I'm curious. I'm wondering how they're going to expand on it.
You have no shortage of allies at your disposal. I cannot thank you enough for your constant support.
Of course, little buddy. Going ham is the next main scenario quest. They went ham on this patch already, and we're only like 1 quest in. 2 quests. Unbelievable. Hey, this is... Oh, right, because it's the Isle of Ham. Excuse me. Probably, that'd be my guess. I'm really looking forward to this dungeon. It looked beautiful from the stuff that they showed in the live letter.
If one and all are ready, then let us set forth, our preparations to complete. If I may, I beg a moment to exchange this vessel for its grown counterpart. It is in the keeping of alchemists at the High Crucible. Of course, we shall accompany thee thither, and thence begin our journey.
Let's go get Big Boy Varsha! Okay, now. Okay, so the room is basically just the same as the one that we kind of saw previously with like where Zero is resting, although they flipped some of the stuff around, but there is like a big table. Nothing in here that looks really distinctively Estinien, like, you know, he's made himself super at home in here kind of thing. But one day, we all know he's putting up here for a reason. That sweaty, sweaty man. I literally still can't get over that. I took a tiny break because I was having trouble getting over that. I absolutely love it though. I just love it. I mean, they know. You know what I mean? They know. They know how we all feel. They know what the internet memes are. They know. And the popularity of that piece of art did not escape their notice. And I mean, rightfully so, because that piece of art, my gosh, now I'm putting together why they even tweeted it, because they recently retweeted that piece of art. And I remember this because it came up on my feed and I went, oh, ha ha ha, yes, the sweaty push-up Estinien that everybody was losing their minds for on the internet. So glad they're bringing that back again. It didn't even dawn on me that it was part of a social media connection in preparation for the peak content, the peak sweaty content. Never mind the savage raids that are coming out. This is the peak sweaty content of patch 6.4. This is it. We just experienced it, and I hope you are all doing okay. Estinien's kind of funny because in my head, he's hotter than he is in game. Like, let's just all be real. They did him a little dirty compared to Emmerich, who got like the most beautiful custom face mold. He's cute still, and I still love me some Estinien. And I think he actually uses one of the faces that male Elizin just have as like a default, which also makes us all go, we could use a little glow up for our Elizin friends as well in the CC. I'm just saying, because he got little tiny lippies. His face always looks a little bit puckered, but I still love him. That's not completely out of character, so.
Opening a gate is about as difficult as I expected.
It's gonna take a lot, but we're gonna do it.
My apologies for the delay.
My, that is a striking simulacrum indeed. Well suited to the work ahead, I doubt not. Which is like, damn, you hot. Excuse me, damneth, you you are heated like the desert sun. How do you say that in a Shakespearean way? Thou art fine as hell. Thy body and visage art pleasing to look upon. You are really bringing your all. You are incredibly. Thou art stunning, one might say. Excuse me. Allow me to explain Ishtola's plan in greater detail. As you know, we seek to open a void gate in Mare Lamentorum, that we might gain direct passage to the moon of the 13th. Whilst our comrades labor upon the moon, we must needs accomplish 2 tasks. The first is the procurement of a substantial quantity of ether, and subsequent delivery of it unto the Tower of Babel. Said structure was once used to siphon the land's essence by way of the Tofroi spires. Such a method, however, doth pose an unacceptable risk to the greater ethereal balance of our world. Thus must we seek an alternate means of conveying our requisite resource. Our second task doth pertain to the use of the Tower of Babel itself. You may recall that this portal onto the moon was placed under the supervision of the Ilsabard contingent. If we would employ it to different ends, we must first obtain the contingent's express permission. I should like to believe that they would not refuse us, so perhaps we should concern ourselves with the ether problem first. Have you any idea whence we might source the vast quantity needed? Aye, a likely location doth come to mind. Let us make for the airship landing. There I shall reveal more. Get thy haughty body to thine airship, and there we shall discuss more. Okay, let's go. Is Nadhana, is she around? Hold on. No, I don't see her over here. I was like, maybe she has a little piece of dialogue or something and she's over here, but no, that's not the case. Okay, so we need to go to airship landing. Let's go off the main aetherite and then we'll head over there. All right, so we need to figure out where we're going to get a bunch of ether. Oh! That's the dungeon, right? Because they talked about how that particular island was always, it had a lot of surplus of ether or something. I bet you that's what it is. It would have been really interesting to tie in here to this, something like Baldessian, right? Because the island that's on also has this like rampant ethereal problem sort of going on, although I think it's been balanced out more with the canonical fall of the Baldessian arsenal and reclaiming of that particular area. But I mean, hey, a lot of the different Sharlayan islands seem to have a fair amount of ether, so. I am most keen to know more of Urianje's potential solution. In the worst case, I was prepared to offer one of my eyes, but it seems it will not come to that. Yes, no, please, God, keep your beautiful dragon eyes in your head. I sometimes come here for the view. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. I love it. I really am a sucker for a good heart of ice melts and is given warmth again kind of narrative, you know? And it's just so lovely to kind of see more of maybe what Zero's actual personality is, as opposed to just the kind of way it's been warped by all of the Void Scent stuff and, you know, having your emotions dampened in a sense and all these things. It's cool. It's very cool. All are present and accounted for? Excellent. We shall travel to Sharlayan and then seek the nearby Isle of Ham. Near unto the surface of this isle do rivers of ether converge. The churning energy of this confluence is released by way of the geysers. Originally, the Ragnarok was to be powered by ether harvested from the isle. But, as well you know, an alternate power source was ultimately found for the vessel. Passage unto Ultima Thule, to the very limits of existence, was facilitated by not less than the strength of the Mother Crystal herself. As such, the Isle of Ham's vast ether deposits remain untouched. We may help ourselves to that energy, provided we are able to secure the Forum's permission. Yet again, with needing permission, is nothing straightforward in this world. Such is the nature of politics, I fear. And as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have been officially disbanded, no longer are we a recognized collective, a somewhat disadvantaged position, bureaucratically speaking. Fortunately, however, there is a recognized and respected body upon which we might prevail, the students of Baldessian. Upon arriving in Sharlayan, let us seek out our friends at the Annex. Hey, so they are going to tie in the Baldessian career a little bit. Okay. This has kind of been not only a way to introduce a new NPC through Zero, but also a way to sort of do a victory lap of, I think, kind of I would assume, a final farewell to some of these characters. Not as in for all time, forever, we will never see them again. But, you know, the end of Endwalker, they're like, the Scions are disbanding. And maybe they were just worried that people would feel like it was too abrupt if we just dumped them all in a ditch and then we're like, bye, and then just left. And they needed some opportunities to get Estinien's sweaty body in here. So I'm really glad that they took those opportunities. But also, I mean, it's kind of nice, I think, even if it maybe feels a little arbitrary, it's kind of nice to get to go around a little bit with everybody, sort of see how they've settled post-Endwalker, and then theoretically move on to new adventures and new horizons. But who knows, maybe they are just going to keep them much more involved than we initially thought. While Mistress Krile hath burdens enough of her own, we may be confident she will do her utmost to assist us. When last I came here, it was to deliver my sire's scales. How long ago it seems now. An island literally bursting with ether. That's the sort of paradise Void sent to dream of. Oh, Zero, please don't, like, go full ethereal gorging rage mode or something. What voice did I give this boy? Who knows? You could all correct me, but I'm inevitably wrong. Let's see. Welcome back, Arden. What brings you here today, and in such colorful company? Greetings, Ojika. On this occasion, we are come to seek the students' assistance in a matter of some urgency. In that case, you'll want to speak with Krile. She's in the main hall, sorting through our archives. There's a visitor with her at the moment, but it's no one you don't know, so feel free to show yourself in. Who is it, Graha? Probably. Although at this point, can't we all say that we're familiar enough that we can drop the honorific tribe G at the beginning and just call him Raha? It's not! Oh, I'm so glad! I'm so happy they're bringing him back in. He's such a great character.
Well now, if it isn't two of my dearest friends. As for the other two,
and whoever these two ninnies are. Whoever you two chumps are. And my dearest friend. No, they've had a lot of voice-acted cutscenes this go-around, which is really nice for this being our kind of wrap-up patch of this arc.
Not in this vessel, perhaps. 'Tis I, Vashan. Though, you are welcome to call me Vritra, if you prefer.
Pay me no mind. I merely accompany them.
No, this is our new friend. Lover. Zero.
I pray you forgive us our intrusion. If you are occupied, we shall call again anon.
Look him! I love his face.
It's
He's
quite
so good.
all right. We've just finished swapping all our secrets anyway.
Dang it, we missed the tea
Phil
sesh.
occasionally comes and shares the latest Gleaner gossip, you see. From forgotten ruins to mysterious relics, if there's aught that might be of interest to the students, he kindly lets us know.
Alas, I must soon depart on an expedition.
He's so good! But now hear me out. If our next major story beats, there's been a lot of discussion about New World, Mericidia, etc., right? And I think there has been a lot of talk too, I know we've talked about it at least on stream and here in YouTube videos, about who our major NPCs moving forward will be. And we know that Krile is one that they want to do more of a focus on. Zero, I think very much feels like is going to be a part of this cast. If not immediately, then more long term if we go back to Void or whatever. I don't know what they're going to do there, but they could pull an Ardbert where she's introduced and they kind of like vanish her for a while, but I don't get that impression. And Aaronville is one of those characters that I've been wondering too. I mean, people really enjoyed him. He feels distinctive enough as a character, and with this kind of tie-in with Baldesion and the idea of maybe returning to our adventuring roots, if there's something that he's going to know about or discover as we kind of think back on those words from Emmett Selk at the end of Endwalker, maybe he will be somebody that we meet up with who becomes a major NPC if he's like paving the way for stuff in Mericidia.
As I may be away for an extended period, I wish to give Krile fair warning. Hence my visit today.
I see. There are specimens that want for procuring, I presume?
No, it isn't guildship business, but rather...
But rather what?
Homecoming.
Homecoming?
But enough about me. You have business too, yes? And I'm in the way.
Evilise? Back in the lands of like Rabanastre and stuff? I mean, it's very likely that there may be Viren populations in other parts of the world outside of that, but those are the only ones that we have confirmed. They're with the mountain range and then the Gulmore jungle, but...
Far from it. As a matter of fact, we should be grateful if you could stay and share your knowledge of the nearby isles with us. We seek a means to travel to the Void. There, a man named Golbez plots to invade our world. A man who even now holds my sister hostage.
We'll get her. We're gonna get her, don't worry.
To that end, we require a great quantity of ether, which we understand may be had on the Isle of Ham.
Hum.
We came in the hope
more
of
fun to say
exploring
ham.
how it might best be procured.
An invasion from the 13th. Must the stakes always be so dramatic?
Yep, pretty much.
You have a knack for finding trouble.
We are incredibly good at it, yes.
If collected world-ending crises, you could make quite a name for yourself in our profession. It's true the Isle of Ham is a veritable font of ether, but as it's under the Forum's direct jurisdiction, only a privileged few get to set foot there. I myself haven't.
So if we want to help ourselves to the Isle's ether, we'll need to secure the Forum's permission.
Well, good thing the Forum owes us just about everything that could ever be owed. So hopefully it won't be too hard to convince them.
Very well. The students of Baldesion recognize your endeavors as combating a grave threat to the world. As representative, I hereby pledge our full assistance.
Thanks, Krile.
Now that it's official, you may leave the politics and paperwork to me. Our operations remain small, but we shouldn't meet any undue resistance.
We are truly grateful.
If I may. According to the original plan for the Exodus, ether collected from the Isle of Ham was to power the Ark. Art thou perchance familiar with the logistics of this endeavor?
Oh, like they would have already set something up to be able to, like, gather that ether.
I don't know anything about that, I'm afraid. Nor do I think any gleaner would. You might have better luck asking someone involved with the Ark's construction. Margaret, for instance. She's a researcher in Sharlayan Hamlet. I met with her for a job recently, and she mentioned working on the Ragnarok's propulsion system.
So helpful.
You could
Thanks,
do worse than
Aaronville.
to seek her out while awaiting the Forum's verdict.
We may well do just that. Our gratitude for thine advice, and may this threat be but a memory upon thy return.
You're quite welcome. Now then, if you'll excuse me.
Okay, okay. Just kind of setting things up.
Start drafting our petition. Go on and find your researcher. I'll contact you as soon as we've made progress.
Let us leave matters here to Mistress Krile and hie ourselves to Labyrinthos.
High ourselves. It's like the old-timey, I think it's so good. I love the old-timey way he speaks. Especially when they use words that I'm just like, boy, have I not heard that outside of a Shakespearean
Right then,
script.
time to put our best foot forward.
No. That's a lot of work.
Oh. A pity you can't tidy yourself. I should have had Ishtola enchant you when I had the chance.
You can get Ishtola back here. Can't you enchant it?
And what have we here?
Mysterious letter.
Later, Krile, later. We've work to do.
This is very much how I think many of us can relate, or how we feel when it's like you're looking at an overwhelming pile of work and any little thing distracts you. Like, I could just log into Final Fantasy later. Later. I can't do that right now. I can't look at that. I can't look at that tweet. I can't start my game. I gotta do the work. If only we actually in our real life had the ability to magically enchant desks and didn't have to like pay someone money to clean up after us. Okay, we need to go down to the Sharlayan Hamlet, so we'll go down that way. Okay, okay. Yeah, kind of, I mean, we're just sort of setting things up to get into the dungeon, it seems like, but there has to be a way that they were planning on, like, turning that ether, you know, holding it, containing it, taking it to the ship, using it as fuel. And if we need to get ether to the tower, I mean, there's got to be a way to direct it, so I'm sure that's kind of what we're doing. I don't know if any of this is going to be some sort of massive revelation, but I am waiting for things to really ramp up in the patch because we have to confront Golbez, so something's gonna happen. I believe we have found our researcher. Though it is not the first time I have seen it, I remain in awe of this sky's magnificence. Never did it occur to me that such an expansive facsimile was within men's power to create. It is through the power of research magic and sort of friendship. Maybe not friendship as much in this case, though definitely working together. Visitors, how delightful. If you require assistance, then ask away. It so happens you've caught me in post-deadline bliss. Forgive us the abruptness of our inquiry, but 'tis our understanding that thou had charge of the Ragnarok's propulsion systems. We should like to know how ether harvested at the Isle of Harm was to be stored and transported to the Ark, if the disclosure of such information is permitted. Oh, it's no bother at all. We built special tanks that can store ether, just like we use casks to store wine. Simple, really. Simple, but quite brilliant in construction. They rivaled even crystals for etheric capacity. Oh, pity we never got to use them. Ah, how muddled and distant the memory. When Doom's deadline loomed large, and we extricated ourselves from a waist-high mire of work only to end up chin-deep in another. I was at one with the world, a conduit for the energies of creation, but now I am truly alive. Who would have thought that sleeping in a bed and eating warm meals could make such a difference? Why, I feel positively functional. I dare say it rivals the thrill of dancing on the knife edge of failure. Oh. I mean, yeah, sleep and food. It's a hell of a drug. Zero knows this. Zero's learning this. We are glad for you. Quite. On the subject of the Aethertanks, do you know what became of them? Oh. What did become of them? For the life of me, I can't
seem to remember.
Is it like some funny business going on here? Or did she just have extreme exhaustion? I feel like it's just extreme exhaustion. And a lot of these researchers were down here in the simulated sunshine for a very long time. So,
oh, but I do remember someone who might remember. He should be back by now. Just look for the fellow wearing an outfit that screams, "I've been on vacation and you haven't." Very well. We shall seek out this conspicuous colleague of thine. Our sincerest gratitude, Margaret, and do look after thyself.
Urianje's not at all fazed by this. He's like, I grew up in this.
Come, let us seek out this individual attired in a manner suggestive of recent furlough.
Sure. Zero's gonna be like,
absolutely, one question. What is a vacation? Can you describe what it looks like? Is there a way to identify? Do you dress in some different manner when you are taking this extended layabout?
yes, Zero, come to our private island sanctuary. We will get you situated with a Hawaiian shirt, and it will be great. Just you can sunbathe a little bit, you know? Hang out, go swimming. Just enjoy stuff,
All is well, and I pray 'tis the same with thee and thine. Now, dost thou perchance know of one recently returned from a vacation?
It's cute. Especially since this is where emotional damage happened to many of us. I don't know if any of these friends have any updated stuff. They probably do.
There are no words to express my gratitude for all you've done. Although our preparations for the Great Exodus were ultimately for nothing, I honestly don't care. I'm just happy to be alive.
I mean, yeah. It's pretty good. Not dying in some kind of cataclysmic world-ending event. Pretty good. I think we can go inside the building, maybe. Hey, Varshan's out of here.
If we can avail ourselves of these tanks, we should be well on our way to securing the ether we require.
What else we got over here? I'll share. We just need... Oh, we can't go inside this one. Oh, okay. Then where are the edges of our sphere? Maybe we can go... Nope, no entry. Go all the way out and see. It's probably like down off this ledge, I bet you anything. Yep. Free me! Free me from this hedge! I could just go around, but that'd be way too easy. Nailed it.
I do not know what a vacation is, but that man strikes me as more relaxed than most.
That's a good step about what a vacation aims to do, yeah. Good job spotting him, Zero. Proud of you.
Oh, the face that launched our teeny tiny toy boat! How have you been, Arden? Able to catch a bit of rest?
Yes, actually, yeah. I have an island sanctuary.
Well, if I don't know about the Aethertanks, who in Birgit's name would? Born right in me very own workshop they were.
As he, like, cranes his neck up at these tall boys.
A pleasure as always, Master Kokol. I trust thy respite proved rejuvenating. And then some, but I won't bore you with the details. At least, not without a drink in me. So, why the interest in our little old tanks? Permit me to explain.
The world might still end. And the void, we've known this, bad. It's been bad for a while. But now it's going to be bad in an immediate and invasive way.
I see. I think I've got the long and short of it. It goes without saying, but we owe all of you more than we can ever repay. If you need our ether tanks, then they're at your disposal. There's just one problem. You need the form's approval to set foot on the Isle of Ham. Were it up to me, you'd be on the next ship out. But that lot can't wipe their asses, unless it's in accordance with procedural motions. You may be assured that my backside is immaculate.
Alphino Alice, you are never... Hold on. I just need to get my link pearl out really quick. You're never going to believe what your dad just said. Yeah, no. He talked about wiping his ass. Yeah. Just in front of... Yeah, in front of a fellow researcher. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Thought you would love that. Okay, bye. See you later, buds.
Thaliak, something thighs. Master Foreshadowing. And Scholar Monteshane.
What a surprise. Pardon the intrusion. The forum has deliberated your petition, and we decided to deliver our verdict directly. You have been granted special dispensation to travel to the Isle of Harm for the purposes of etheric extraction, on one condition. On account of its rich deposits of ether, the Isle is home to throngs of vicious beasts. We ask that you cull any such creatures you encounter. That's all. Given the vast amount of ether we seek, I expected a far higher price. Oh, believe me, we do not underestimate the value of what you desire. Nay, we simply owe the students of Baldessian and their esteemed collaborators a debt of gratitude, and we felt that expediting your request was a suitable way to repay it. A debt of gratitude. Welcome to Emotions 101. Gratitude is a new one. Let's discuss it. We have taken the liberty of arranging your passage to the Isle of Harm. Your vessel awaits in Scholar's Harbor.
Then I'd better get those Aethertanks loaded onto the airship. We'll be ready to take 'em where you need 'em, assuming it's safe.
I shall head back to the annex, but should you need anything else, don't hesitate to call. Bye, Krile! Bye, old guys! Bye, small man! Bye, small Hawaiian shirt vacation boy! Bye, giant spiral underground research facility! Spaceship building! Animal Ark Zoo! I'm not gonna lie, one of my favorite things is just generally describing stuff in the most obscure way possible in Final Fantasy XIV. Either that's happened, or like descriptions of regions or cultural stuff or things like that, right? Like when you literally say, yes, this dragon is so sad. He's been all up in the clouds because a long time ago, his people like got into war with the old elves that lived up here, and then one of them killed his sister, and then another one plucked out his eyeball, and then also he's been kind of moping up here because he ate the elf woman that he loved. He ate her. So they're like together forever. And I guess some people are into that. I don't want to judge, but like also he's sad, I think, because she did die from that. And yeah, now peace is happening, but he can't get her back. There's no yarfing up the woman you loved that you ate and then digested and then combined with your own ether. So we don't really know if he's gonna come down from the clouds ever. And like that's a very valid thing that you can say. Just like describing Labyrinthos as a wild ride. Just absolutely wild.
All proceeds apace thus far, and it is thanks to your enduring bonds that you have forged, and your good ability at reading words. It seems this forum is like Alice. They help others simply because they want to.
Correct. Well, no, not wholly correct, but in recent history, yes, correct.
That Master Foreshadowing and Scholar Monteshane should personally deliver these glad tidings. We must endeavor to repay their faith in us.
I think we've done enough to earn that faith. But, you know, we'll just keep this good feeling going. We'll repay it back and forth. We'll do it.
Bound for the Isle of Harm. You look like the ones Master Foreshadowing told me to expect.
I was literally just about to say, what voice should I give this guy? And I don't have to. I can sit back and go on a vacation. I'll just let this cutscene voice itself. Please enjoy.
If you're ready to depart, then so am I. Just say the word.
Is something the matter?
I did recruit one other to our party, but he is late to arrive.
Who? Graha? No, Graha's off busy doing 24-man stuff. Thancred, I should have known Urianger would have invited his boyfriend, obviously.
Forgive me my delay.
Hey, buddy!
Thancred? Tis good to see you.
How's it going? Of course, we haven't had him in the, like, victory lap of the Scions yet, so.
If it isn't Varshan. They do grow up so quickly.
I like that Urianger has an unabashed, like, thou art hot. And meanwhile, Thancred is, like, full dad mode. Like, oh, I see you've grown up. Look at that. It feels very appropriate to their current energy and vibe, you know? I mean, ever since Urianger got that deep V of a back astrologian little tart ensemble, he's been... he has just been so out there, you know what I mean? It's really hard to keep him in check. As you all know, I'm really good at keeping myself in check. So, you know, I've been trying to teach him the same lesson, but it just hasn't really sunk in yet, I don't think. Just can't stop that man from flirting with everybody in old, archaic Shakespearean speech, so... Meanwhile, Dad Cred rolling up with the high-waisted shorts, ready to go.
Urianger tells me we have a host of exciting new tribulations to face.
A whole new dungeon! I hope this one is, like, interesting, has a little bit of challenge to
And you
it.
must be Zero. I've heard all about your daring do in Garlemald. A pleasure.
Yeah, hat tip! It's been a hot second since we got a hat tip.
Apart from strengthening our company with his redoubtable skill at arms, Thancred may also serve as a mentor in those matters that trouble thee.
Squint.
I speak of the intangible forces which bring souls together. Thancred is possessed of experience both unique and insightful that I am sure he would gladly share with thee. Thou needst but ask.
We have to, like, introduce our new friends to our old friends, make sure the groups mingle, you know? It's so good! I'm really looking forward to the new dungeon. I have heard just here or there that people felt like it was fun. Now, I don't know anything about spoilers, but I heard very vaguely that the boss mechanics were enjoyable and that it, you know, felt like it was a little bit spicier than some of the other ones that we've gotten post-Endwalker, which I'm really hoping is the case because I don't know about all of you. Some of it is that we only get one dungeon per patch, and it's been like that for a little while now, but I think that expert roulette just gets old really fast, and then even more so when a lot of the mobs and stuff may not really have that many unique mechanics. It doesn't seem like they're quite as punishing. I've really liked the designs of the bosses, and I like some of the lore and things that we've gotten, and the overall aesthetic of a lot of the dungeons that we've had post-Endwalker, but it just hasn't felt like my butt is clenching as much when you enter an expert roulette, and you're wondering if the tank is going to manage to stay alive, and if your cooldowns can manage to heal them through that experience. So I'm hoping this one has a little bit more that's kind of engaging with it, and a little bit more of that, like, consistency across the board between ads and bosses, and like a cool design, memorable music. So we'll see. I have seen some screenshots of polar bears. That's all that I've seen so far, but that was pretty much in the live letter, so I don't know anything else.